So when you were diagnosed then full 100% complete and total disability in 2019, what did the therapy look like from a medical standpoint? Like what kinds of things were the doctors giving you to do? Were you mentioned EMDR, you mentioned meditation, you mentioned
That's all recent.
medication.
That's all recent.
Oh, that's
That's
all
all
recent.
recent.
So
When I say recent, I'm
was
saying
it
the last three years. The last 3 years, from 2019 to 2022, they don't make you do anything. First of all, they
right?
give you the rating and here's your benefits, and they don't even sit you down and tell you what your benefits are. You have to figure that out yourself. You have to. There's no.
Brutal.
I remember the day. I remember the day it came through approved. It was on my cell phone, driving around delivering chlorine to all the places here at Myrtle Beach, the pools and the water parks and everything else, filling their chlorine tanks. And I just scroll on my phone. I said, "Let me check how my disability is going to see where it's at, the status of it." And I roll up there and I say, "Oh, I say 100%. Bruce L. Fees, 100%, something, something." I said, "That must be an example." I continue to scroll. No, it's not an example. I've been approved. Holy smokes. And then after that, it was on me. Nobody called me on the phone. Nobody called me in. Nobody sat me down. Nobody told me a single thing of what I was eligible for, what was going to occur, what the sums of money would be, how it would be defined. You had to figure that out completely on your own.
Yeah.
Now, speed that up to the medical side. Nobody called me on the phone and said, "Hey, come on in here. We need to talk to you." Nobody said, "Hey, let's get you in here and see this doctor for this and that." So Bruce didn't do anything. Bruce continued to do what he was doing before it said you're 100% permanent and
To live
total.
in
I didn't
dysfunction.
change the next day. I did not change.
Yeah.
I continued to live in dysfunction and do my own thing until I just kept hitting the wall, until I kept getting locked up, until I kept getting myself arrested, until I kept getting myself just torching my life and sitting there pondering, why am I doing this, and trying to rationalize it. And I call it, you can't rationalize irrational behavior. Anytime someone tries to rationalize irrational behavior, it's impossible. I was acting irrationally. There is no rationalization for that. But I would sit around and try to rationalize it to myself, being Dr. Fees on Bruce, to try and figure out what's going on. Still in denial that it in fact was all just PTSD related. And if in fact it was, why can't I handle it? Why can't I control this on my own? What do you
Because
mean
it's not
I'm not able to?
just PTSD. Yeah.
It's not even close.
And even a diagnosis like that shouldn't be minimalized, in my opinion. It shouldn't be
No,
minimalized at all because it
never.
affects all of your body systems, right?
Everything. Absolutely everything. I was diagnosed with extreme adult attention deficit disorder as a result of my complex PTSD. I never had ADD or anything close. You don't go through sniper school and have ADD. The two things work opposite of each other. Nobody could singularly focus easier than I could back then. I was a different person. I am a completely different human being sitting here today than I was before, physically, and then life experience and everything. Sure, it all has come together to help mature me and grow as a person and everything else. But I am a different human being, physically, mentally, because of the chemical imbalance, because of the wiring. In 2021, I finally got the VA to do a CAT scan of my brain. Let's go see if I really do have post-concussion syndrome. Why can't it be a combination of PTSD and post-concussion syndrome causing this problem? Because Bruce is still convinced that there's more than it appeared. So Bruce goes and gets tested. He has the MRI, does the whole thing. He goes down to Charleston, sits with the neurologist, who's looking at his computer screen and my brain and everything that came back to him. And he's doing a ton of cognitive tests with me. He's asking me questions. There's written tests. There's the old, he'll read off 4 or 5 statements to you, and then he'll come back later and ask you about those and all the different things that not mess with your brain, but figure out how your brain's working. At one point, he finally stops me, and he goes, "Bruce, I got really good news for you. You suffer absolutely no chance of developing dementia or Alzheimer's in your lifetime. In fact, your brain activity is absolutely off the charts for a man of your age. And to the point where my team of neurologists and I want to bring you in once a month for 3 days over the course of 3 months, wire you up, and sit there and ask you questions in an interview type format with your brain on scan to try and figure out how your brain is running so fast. How is your brain running so fast? How are you able to keep up with 4 conversations simultaneously and not miss a beat on any of them? How are you able to finish people's conversations and move on to the next subject when they're not even finished telling you what they were fixing to tell you? Why is your brain on super speed? Not normal. It's not a highly intelligent thing. It's a crosswire. Something happened. Trauma. Yes, trauma happened. The complex PTSD happened. The best way they explain it is I stayed in such a heightened state of full tilt ahead combat I did 2 years back to back. The year in Iraq and year in Afghanistan, 2003 and 2004, I did back to back, 2 years straight. I came out for 90 days. I chose that. They don't make you do that. I said sign a waiver and everything else saying I want to go back, and I did.
Right.
And at that point, that was 2005, and that's when everybody said they saw the wires cross the most severely with me. It's hard for me to say that's exactly I can't put my finger on when it all happened. I just know this is how I am all the time now. I wake up first thing in the morning. I don't need coffee. I don't need anything. I am brain just running on full tilt, full tilt. Got the phone going. Got the news over here. The phone over here. The computer over here. Music playing over here. Just here I go.
You become the master multitasker. Yeah.
It's so hard for me to slow it down enough to focus on any one thing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So do you find...
Even when I'm reading, I'll read 4 different things at once.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do a quick little recap because there was a couple of people that have come in a little bit late. So this is Bruce Fees. He's a former first sergeant with the United States Army. Served 7 tours of duty, 20 plus years of service, is 100% complete and total disabled now with complex PTSD. He talked to us at the beginning about the difference between PTSD and C-PTSD because there is a difference. They're 2 different things. However, correct me if I'm wrong, you said that they're not recognized as 2 different things here within the North American.
We call it the American Journal of Medicine. The American Journal of Medicine is our Bible, where they sit there and say you have a headache, you have this, you have that. Everything that's diagnosed, psychologically related or physical, is in that Bible. You have the World Health Organization. They have theirs. The WHO.
Theirs is different. Yeah.
They have different things. They do not have. They have. Yes. They have complex PTSD, and PTSD is 2 separate diagnoses. Over here in the American Journal of Medicine, it's PTSD, and underneath PTSD, you'll see the things that they relate to complex PTSD. They don't deny its existence. It's just not an official diagnosis yet.
It's kind of like a step up from PTSD in the medical journals, right? It's like in their medical journals.
It is over in World Health Organization. Here, we're still trying to figure it out. There's a lot of argument. There's a lot of doctors, they're not trained in it. Because it's not in the American Journal of Medicine, when they go to become psychiatrists and psychologists, they're not taught about it.
And so
it's not a diagnosis.
You're actually going to get your degree in psychology very soon because of something that interests you. Now, I watched your interview with Nikki on Thursday last week, and you did say that you won't be able to actually practice psychology, like as a practicing psychologist,
because of my criminal record.
Because of your record.
Yeah. Correct.
But that doesn't stop you from doing the things that you're doing currently, because I know that you're working on a book. So do you find that writing your book has helped sort of organize things in there a little bit more? Or
it's getting there. It's getting there. I keep adding chapters to this book as my brain remembers things, or I go back and bring back things. I don't forget anything. It's all there.
Yeah.
But it's been such a rapid fire, machine gun fire of incident after incident after incident dating all the way back to childhood to right now, just the last couple of weeks. The incident with the tire and the flat tire was just a week ago. Matter of fact, that's here as an example. You say some people just joined. I'd like to read something that I wrote that helps people
Yes,
understand
please.
things better, I think.